Hi, I'm Nathan Nosnik with the Grace Company, and I'm glad and excited to be with you here again today in front of the Q-Zone hoop frame. We're looking to answer one key question we get asked probably most often is, does my machine fit, or how would I know if my machine fits? And I'm looking to cover some of those. Go ahead, like us, give us a likes, thumbs up, click on the bell. We are going to have other videos. We would love to keep you informed when we come out with new ones on the Q-Zone hoop frame. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the space that the machine sits in, and we're going to look at how and why this machine is so functional. Why can it fit such a vast variety of machines? One of the most important things we're going to start off and look at is this main carriage area. And if we look, there's this space that we have, and I'm going to quickly remove this so that we can notice that and kind of define this a little bit more. I'm going to kind of bring this right over here. And what I'm looking to show you is the width. A lot of times people wonder, well, how much space do I have? Just so you know, this is a little over 11.5 inches. There are some machines that have a little bit of a wider back. There are a couple in the mid 9, 10, up to 15,000 that end up with a wide back. Those machines do fit because they actually come and clear the back side of this handle. Well, what about the length of my machine from front to back in this space? Well, there are quite a few of the domestic machines at 12 inches, some are at 10. There's a couple new ones at 13 inches. Those actually do fit on this carriage, and so this carriage does have the right amount of space. I'm going to kind of sit this back down over here, and I want to talk last about the height. You'll notice that there's nothing above it. So if the machine can fit inside of this area, then it will clear on the height. There's one additional. What if I have a 16 or an 18-inch machine that I'm going to sit on this trolley? Well, what about that? You know, Nathan, you said 13 inches. Well, what's great is we do have a special accessory handle for you. You can look below in the link. Again, make sure to check that little bell icon so you get them, give us a like. But down below, we're going to have a link to what we call our extended handles. And what they do is they can be adjusted out. So if I'm using a 16 or an 18-inch machine, those handles can be pulled out so that you can use this same system. What I'd like to do is quickly go ahead and grab a machine and show you a couple things. Before I grab the machine, I'm going to have you kind of come in and take a look. These are machine base clamps. And what these do is this allows us to kind of hold and squeeze the machine in place. I'm just going to make sure that those are all the way out before I grab the machine. And I'm going to pull this towards the back of the frame. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go grab the machine. Right now I have one sitting on part of the table. You're going to be taking this, and this will come mostly from your sewing area or your sewing table. But we're going to take our machine and we're going to walk over to our frame. Now again, some people want to know, does it bolt or does it clamp? It does not. It really just sits here on the trolley. And you can see this is about a 9-inch, but we have plenty of room. The machine can be pulled to the back. It can be pushed closer to the front, which really doesn't matter. But again, I'm going to go ahead and take this machine base clamp now, and I'm going to push that in and tighten it. Now there are 4, so I'm just quickly going to go ahead and make that adjustment, and that is how we actually put the machine frame on the carriage. Now if we kind of take a look at the frame, people will say, well, the machine, this rail isn't in the machine's throat. And so there are some simple thumb screws. I'm just going to loosen these thumb screws up. And if you watch what happens when we loosen those, the frame does come with 3. I always use 1 because the engineering our team does is phenomenal, and 1 is easier and is all I do use. But you'll notice that that can come right out, push the machine forward. This rail goes through the throat of the machine, and I'm simply going to place the thumb screws back in it. Quickly grab that, put this back in. And if we'll notice, that is actually ready to be used now. So that was easy. I just moved the machine, set it on the platform, clamped it together, put the rail through it. I'd like to point out a couple other adjustments. People will say, well, what about my machine if it's thicker or if my machine is thinner? And on this side of the frame, I'm going to kind of have you come and look at this. You'll notice that there's actually a couple adjustable pieces. These allow us to adjust the rails up and down, and what this does is this is what allows us to create the space under the rail. So it makes it very adjustable for any of the domestic machines, regardless of how thick or thin. The other one is when we pull this machine to the front, if we end up with a really big machine, and you can put up to 19-inch machines on this, well, we might collide. There is one more adjustment down here on the side, and again, there are a couple of screws. If we just loosen those with the tool, this allows us actually, and I'm going to quickly walk around the other side here, and you'll see how we can actually expand and pull this out And I'm just going to kind of show you, once this is expanded all the way out, you'll notice how much more space we have in front of the frame. Now I'm quickly going to go ahead and push this back in because we don't need that extended all the way out on this frame. And I'm just going to pull the machine off so you can see again the process. We put it on, we're going to take it off. I'm going to go ahead and loosen the thumb screws here to take the rail outside of the throat of the machine. I'm just going to go ahead and sit that there on our frame. Now, remember at this point, I have oftentimes gone to lift my machine, but if my base clamps are on there, we'll end up pulling the carriage off, and that will take more off than we want. So quickly, I'm just going to loosen those up, which will then allow that machine to be free. Pull that to the back, and we can go ahead and put this back in our sewing area. And I'm just simply going to put the rail back on for storage purposes. But again, that's as easy as it needs to be. Remember that we just simply took the machine, set it on the carriage. We ended up taking the machine base clamps to hold it in place, took the rail, slid that through the throat of the machine, and we're good to go. That's what makes this frame so versatile. Remember, if you do have bigger machines, bigger than our 13, like 16 to 18, etc., you can look at getting the extended handles. Again, make sure to give us a like. Check that bell so that you can get new updates when we have new videos. With that, that is how and why this frame is so versatile and works with so many of the domestic machines that are out there. With that, feel free always to call our number, 1-800-264-0644. Again, 1-800-264-0644 for questions, any needs you might have. We have a customer service team ready to help you, or log online to www.graceframe.com. We look forward to seeing you again.